Can we use Teflon tape for preventing gas leakage in air conditioners or not? And if we can, what are the correct positions to use it? Because many people use it but don't know if it's beneficial or not, especially on flare nuts or dead nuts. They also don't know the proper way to wrap the tape. So in today's video, we will explain the correct method of using it. So now, let's talk about what exactly this is, because understanding it will help us use it properly. You might have often seen PTFE written on it, which stands for polytetrafluoroethylene. This tape is made from this material, and it comes in different types. Let's explain those types as well. There are 5 types of Teflon tape, and we'll explain each of them. 1. White tape. This is the most common type and is generally used for general-purpose applications. 2. Yellow tape. This tape is designed for gas lines but cannot be used for oxygen gas. It is suitable for butane and propane gases and can also be used for potable water systems. 3. Green tape. This tape is petroleum-free and grease-free, making it ideal for medical applications, especially for oxygen gas lines. 4. Pink tape. This tape is used for airlines, potable water lines, and hydronic systems. 5. Gray tape. This tape is exclusively used for stainless steel applications. Each type is designed for specific uses, so it's essential to select the right one based on your requirements. So, the first question was whether we can use Teflon tape to stop air conditioner gas leakage or not. The answer is yes, we can, and there's no issue with that. However, it's important to understand the proper way to use it. Now we'll explain how to use general-purpose tape correctly. Keep in mind that although the cover might be yellow, the tape itself is white. Next, we'll guide you on the proper method to wrap the tape, which nuts it can be applied to, and which nuts it should not be used on. Now, look, we have prepared a complete demonstration for you. To make it easier to understand, we have removed the parts from the unit and will show you a demo. You will see 2 types of nuts installed here. Both are flaring bolts, and flaring bolts are attached to them. Now, let me show you the proper way to wrap the tape on these bolts. For dead nuts, we can use Teflon tape, but only when the bolt threads slip or there is leakage in them. In such cases, the tape can help seal the leakage. However, we cannot use Teflon tape on flaring nuts or bolts. I will explain the reason for this later. Now, let me explain the correct position for applying the tape. When you take out the tape roll, the roll should be positioned facing upwards. This makes it easier to apply the tape. If the roll is facing downwards, it won't wrap properly. So keep the roll in the upward position and wrap the tape like this. For the dead nut, even if the tape reaches the head of the nut, it's fine. Next, I'll also show you how to properly connect the nut and socket. See, when the tape is applied this way, it sticks well, and when you tighten the nut over it, you'll notice that it's sealing perfectly and not even slightly loose. Now, let's open it again and see. Upon opening, you'll notice that the tape has settled perfectly and created a tight seal. If you need to remove the tape, you can use a wire brush like this to clean it off easily. If you need to reapply the tape, simply clean the threads and apply it again as demonstrated. Now, as you can see, I have a PPR pipe in my hand with a nipple attached to it. When we wrap Teflon tape around it, the socket will easily tighten on it, and any leakage from this point will be eliminated. As for air conditioners or refrigerators, their pipes are joined using the brazing system, where gas welding is used to weld the pipes together. This welding creates a strong joint, so there's no need for Teflon tape in such cases. As I mentioned earlier, if you apply Teflon tape on the dead nut, it will completely stop its leakage. However, let's now look at what happens if you apply Teflon tape to a flaring nut. You can see that I've applied Teflon tape here, but what benefit will it have? None at all. Why? Let me explain. When the flaring sits on the connection and you tighten the nut, even if it's tightened well, it won't stop the leakage. This is because the threads of the nut are at the bottom, while the flare is at the top. If there's any leakage, it will occur from the flare, not the threads. This is why using Teflon tape on flaring nuts is useless. Always make sure to use a high-quality flare to avoid leakage problems. Now, let's take a look at this flare and how the nut is placed over it. You can see that the top area remains empty and loose. If the flare leaks, the leakage point will be at the top, not at the threads. This is why even if you apply Teflon tape, it won't stop the leakage. It's useless in this case. On the other hand, copper fittings are also available, which allow you to make a joint between 2 pipes. For such joints, a nipple nut is used, and the flaring system is applied here as well. Wherever a flaring system is present, there is no need for Teflon tape. The best solution for such connections is welding. Additionally, there are fittings available to transition from one pipe size to another. In such cases, you can use Teflon tape if it involves a dead nut, as it will help control leakage. But in the flaring system, Teflon tape serves no purpose at all. Click on the left or right thumbnail to watch our next videos, and subscribe. Thank you.